The webinar has started. Hubert, you think anybody's going to show up, man? I mean, it's
No,
Memorial
you said
Day weekend. It's a Friday afternoon. People are thinking about the beach and the sun and the pool and the barbecue and the fact that they can't stand the fact that their mother's got to come, stepmother, mother-in-law got to come
uh,
visit. You got to deal with those people. I mean, I don't know, man. Do you think anybody's going to
people
show up?
will. No, no, no. Yes, I do think people will show up for this mastermind. It's the calm before the weekend storm. So,
That's what it is. People just like, okay, I'm gonna come and do something intelligent beforehand. Well,
hey,
and
Ridgely, nice shirt, man.
uh, Hubert, part of one of your old Hawaiian ones, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
well,
Tell the
so
good folks how you got a collection of those. Go on, tell them.
yeah, I do collect Hawaiian shirts, but this one in particular, Rich, I know, you've got an awesome story for yours, but here's my not so awesome story with mine. I made the mistake, not once, but twice, of wearing this exact shirt to my Trader Joe's. Needless to say, I was a very popular man in the store.
Right? Because they all thought you worked for the company.
Yes, exactly. They wear the same exact one. So,
So my story is these are very rare now, very rare, because our good man Rodrigo down in Akumal, which is between Playa del Carmen and Tulum on the Riviera Maya in Mexico. Every year we'd go, and every Thursday he would show up and sell these beautiful shirts that they make by himself with manufacturer. But then one year he was no longer there anymore, and so I started asking questions. Well, where's Rodrigo? Well, apparently shirts weren't the only thing he was selling on the side to all the tourists that he was trying to make friends with. And he got caught, and they decided that they were going to be no more Rodrigo. So now these are rare collectibles. What these are, just saying.
nice. Well, I must say, I concede your shirt is cooler than mine.
Yeah, but I would not be approached in a Trader Joe's and have all these new friends that,
There you go. But also, I won't be mistaken for a macaw or a toucan, so there's that.
All right.
Okay, so everybody, welcome to the Mastermind. I see people did get the emails through our new email system. For those of you that helped warm up our email, we'll explain the ins and outs, just an inside look at that. Thank you so much. But I just want to recognize, hello, Antonia and Greg. Hey, Kurt. Hey, David, Diana,
All the way
Dorina.
from South Africa, man. Johannesburg, no doubt. Love that.
Yeah, that's Kurt. We have Dr. Art, we have Felicia Day, we have Jeff, we have Gideon, Jim, our friend from Colorado. Hey, Linda, and of course, Scott Brown.
I'm telling you.
And more people coming in. So, hey, Steve, welcome aboard. So, originally, let's just give a little in the trenches talk to start this off with the best practices of switching email services. Okay, so what was the pain? We had two accounts. We had Active Campaign and we had Aweber. Aweber we'd had for 1,000 years. So originally, why did we pull the plug? What was the pain there?
So the pain became, this is happening to a lot of companies. You got to really be careful. Is when an email provider begins charging you by the number of emails you send per month. And if you're sending a lot of emails because you have a lot to communicate, you're wanting to give a lot of value, you're wanting to put offers out there to your community, et cetera, that can get super expensive. So what used to be a $300 a month thing suddenly has surcharges, $500 extra, $800 extra. And as companies moved to that model, there were a couple of companies out there that went the opposite and said, no, here's the flat fee. You can send unlimited emails up to this big of a list. And the pricing went from number of emails sent to unlimited based on the size of the list. Now, that makes infinitely more sense for us, not for everybody. For some people, it might be better to be priced based on the number of emails you send. Maybe you only send one a month. But if you communicate a lot, then you really want something that's going to meet what your needs are. And that's why we decided to make the shift.
Yes, and particularly, and those that know have experienced this as well. Aweber, for many years, very famous for its unlimited email sends, a couple of months ago did switch to the metered email approach. And so our Aweber bill which was rock solid over the years, just spiked, right? And so we went out on an exploration, looked at a very short list of vendors that still had unlimited email sends. But what we wound up choosing, and I'll explain why we did, was Kajabi. And Kajabi is still an up and coming platform. They have two compelling reasons. One is it is counted by the number of contacts that you have in with unlimited email sends. And the second big reason is, and originally I discovered this doing an email client blast for a client through their Kajabi. I wanted to double check the email settings, and I looked at the fine print. And if you look at the email that we recently sent, the from is actually through Kajabi's own domain name. Okay. And so they're one of the rare companies that allows you to leverage their stellar um, domain reputation, and it really helps. And so we saw fantastic results for our client. We jumped in. The import process was seamless. It's matter of fact, it helped clean up the import export process. And but here's the real trick, and you all experienced it. We did a warm-up email or two where we announced, we were transparent with you. We said, hey, we're using a new email provider. It would help us if you click the links in the email. So I provided some links to our videos and so forth so that you'd have something to look at when you got there. But also I asked, hey, would you please reply, even if it's a simple got it? And originally, a lot of people did, and I thank the community. And because of that, what's happening behind the scenes is when you're onboarding with a new email provider, they're looking very carefully at the stats, the engagement stats of the first few email sends. And sure enough, everybody, was willing to participate, and we got stellar results. And so we rapidly went from a issue. I think you saw one that went into your promotions tab, but after that, it started coming to the regular inbox. And it's because of
Right.
all the activity.
At a
And
99.9 something delivery rate, which is insane. That is
yes,
so good. It's crazy good.
right. And so it's all right to ask. And as a matter of fact, here's the case study proof point here. Glenn Ledwell, Ridgely's, very close business partner, and one of the top five marketers in the world. No exaggeration. Okay. Not only played along, he sent saying, "Hey guys, hope you're doing well." I replied, and he said, "Hey mate, how are you?" All that. So he recognizes the value of getting that engagement going with the emails. And also
Yeah.
further, one last thing, and I'll let Ridgely talk about that. But one last thing is do not be afraid. And as a matter of fact, this made the big difference. If you all look at the reply to email, I put my own personal email for the company on there. So then when you replied, it actually came to my inbox. And I happened to be up all night working. And as they came in, I would hear the chime and I would respond right away. So it's just high engagement on all fronts. What were we going to say, Richard?
Yeah, and this is a really big deal because if anybody has tried to import a list into certain new systems, the biggest thing right out of the gate is that the deliverability of the first few sends is going to be super low because nobody recognizes you coming from this new space. And so you go from seeing your old open rates plummet, thinking that there's a real problem, and it's not that there's a problem, it's that they haven't warmed up the whole situation yet. This is why this Kajabi thing was an absolute amazing benefit is because we're using and leveraging their system and their massive power. Now, we did do the cleaning necessary, get rid of everybody that hadn't opened something in the last 120
Yes.
days, all unsubscribes, all blocked, anything we can think of to clean up the list. But then we delivered in. The first email is hitting at 99% deliverability. We're like,
Yes.
what? That's
Yes.
insane. And now our open rates are cruising well north of 30% on each email. And I'm telling you, when you have that kind of consumption, that kind of compliance with your deliverability, it's just phenomenal. It means you're getting to your people, you're able to provide the value to your community, and of course, that's going to turn into commerce.
Yes, exactly. Okay, one more um pass it this just to for the extra credit here. Don't be afraid to personalize it beyond what you think is appropriate. Okay. If you look at our emails, the from is not mine types. The from is Ridgely and Hubert with the ampersand. super friendly, right? And my reply to email address is my own personal email address. And right off the bat, we're going big with our personalities. I mean, look at the two of us now, goofballs here. But yes, we both got the memo about the crazy shirt day, but just be yourself. Be an exaggeration of yourself.
Hmm.
So that's my last contribution on that.
And Bruce, if you want help or whatever with your switching your CRM stuff, just let us know, man. We can probably point you in the direction of a thing or two. All right.
Bruce with the aloha comment. Nice.
All right. No. Applies to you at least anyway. All right. So we have some hot seats happening. We have some research to do, very interesting and challenging research. Hubert doesn't know what I'm about to lay on him yet. So where do you want to start?
You take it away. I do want to read some of these comments are great. Darina, I hope you're doing well. Darina said Ridgely, I clicked on one of the links in the email and saw that Ridgely forgot to list the red sweet vermouth in the Negroni recipe he gave in Mind Types After Dark.
Ay, ay, ay. I mean, that guy is like, he needs some lessons clearly, Doreen. All right. I'm gonna pop down to Palm Beach and hang with you. All
Hey
right. We have
guys,
some great friends joining us. Hello, Antonia and Greg. How are y'all doing?
Doing
Hello,
great.
hello.
you guys
Hola,
look
hola.
awesome. You have some
Thank
beautiful
you.
lighting going on there. I must compliment you.
Hmm.
You think they've done a webinar or two before? Maybe gotten on one or two Zooms in this world?
I need a Hawaiian shirt though. I feel very undressed.
Yeah, well,
Well,
we're
it's
you guys
casual
have the real
California,
thing, so
you know. All right. So tell us what we're trying to accomplish so that everybody knows what we're doing here. And of course, mastermind members, obviously, this is a mastermind. It's not the Hubert and Ridgely show. We are all here to contribute to each other. So it may seem like it today, but normally it's not. So please do contribute your thoughts and ideas to the process so that we can give Greg and Antonia everything that we can possibly give them. So, all right, tell us what we're trying to do.
So we want to upgrade our website, which interestingly, about a year and a half ago, our VA completely trashed everything about it. So we started a new one in Simplera, which is our CRM, kind of a baby website, just so that people could go there and they could start to, get a lead magnet. But we haven't really gone into the whole development of the limbic messaging. So we have tons of stuff that we've been developing in our messaging as far as benefits for our company. I've been in ChatGPT using, all kinds of AI stuff. And I created a doc that just kind of has some basic content and I don't know if you got that or not.
Oh,
And
Hubert has it already. He's doing something with it. I don't know what he's
I-
okay,
doing with that
so
He
document,
looks
but
busy already and he
he's doing
already,
something with it. I already know.
am I this easy to read?
Yeah, I mean,
we see the wheels turning, Hubert.
So what we want to do is create a really simple but powerful content for the site and kind of an idea of what we would do that would allow people when they get there to understand, oh, that's what they do. That's why I'm here. And I can kind of see what the next step that I should take while I'm here is.
Yeah.
and do you have a live site right now that we can
Yes.
also
It's
share?
I think it's HTTPS selfhealthinstitute.com.
So,
HEALTH.
Yeah, we could write it in the chat.
selfhealthinstitute.com. Okay, let's just take a look at that. By the way, interestingly, I had an interview with Calvin about 5 days ago, maybe
Oh,
last week. He's Calvin Curley is the founder of Simplero, and he is really a great guy. He's in a mastermind with me, and he was exploring a very interesting topic, which was what is the thing that keeps you from getting to the next level, no matter where you are? And so he was interviewing a series of high-level marketers and CEOs from the digital marketing space all across the spectrum. And he invited me to be a part of that study that he's doing. It was very, very cool. So he's a great guy. Really like Calvin a lot. He's the only guy that works out barefoot that I know because he's one of the crowd. He's one of the mastermind crowd. There's a crowd. There's the mastermind crowd that stays up way too late, right? And then there's the mastermind crowd that's at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning on mastermind days. Calvin's one of those, as am I. So we always have a good time talking, um, in the gym. All right.
Awesome.
So we're looking to create a simplified version of yet something that reflects exactly who you are, what you're about, and give someone a sense of what you do easily, simply, so that they can make that decision to take the next step. And of course, use limbic messaging, client-centric copy, clear calls to action.
And we would love to be the first search on Core Talk Holistic Healing.
Or anything that has to do with energy healing,
Yeah.
we have a huge list of SEO stuff that we're working on. But when our website went completely out because our VA just trashed it, we put in Core Talk, and our clients and our students come up.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
we need to
crazy.
get back on the top of
And,
that.
and we are open to any platform that does that.
Because the Core Talk is what we certify in, it's what we teach, it's our own modality, and we need to be centric on that.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, just because I'm not familiar with it, what word are you saying? Core Talk?
Core Talk Holistic Healing.
And that's your own proprietary platform or program, or?
Energetic healing modality.
Okay, got it.
All right,
Okay.
Hubert, what are you doing?
And
What are we doing over
and do you have a web page that explains specifically Core Talk?
That's the problem. We used to, and now with this very simplified website that we've had for the last year, we do not.
Okay.
And we
hold
have
on.
2 movies coming out in September that we're in with some very high profile people, and we need to get our stuff together.
Oh yeah, for sure. So hold on, let me just
So,
take a
and for everybody's benefit, let's just acknowledge that this is a common thing, right? It's common that we need to constantly be upgrading our web presence, really reinventing ourselves, especially in the age of AI, when a lot of engines, it's no longer just search engines, it's search engines, it's generative engines, it's answer engines, it's a lot of different variations on what used to be a simple thing, in order to stay on top. So, Hubert, where do you want to go first?
Okay, well, so I'll let you decide, but let me share my screen for a quick second. I just wanted to make sure, use this as a teaching point. So just want to make sure our audience knows about and uses the Wayback Machine. Okay, so there's a project called the Internet Archive, and their goal is rather big. Their goal is to archive all of our history's web pages. Okay, so you can actually go and do some research on the Wayback Machine. So I put in selfhelpinstitute.com, and how far back would be the version that did have what you're looking for?
2 years?
3 years ago.
Okay, so let's just go back to, okay, let's just look at 2022. So I'm just gonna go and like we're just gonna look. And there's lots to browse through, but you never know. I mean, originally, and I did a project for a rather large banking consulting company, and she referred to content that had been lost, and we use Wayback Machine to pull it up, and so sometimes it's there and
Yep.
sometimes it's not.
That's
So
it.
okay, so once you find a page that has the information, and when you go and you click through it, or whatever, core talk, hopefully this has a page too, then at the very least you can copy and paste it. So all is not lost. Like, oh, here's some explanation about core talk.
Yeah, we have plenty of explanation of it.
Right.
It's just that it was all the SEO stuff that
Yes. Okay, but
yeah.
I'm glad that you still have your information, and I'm glad that we found some information so that an outsider can look and help you as well. I was just afraid that you had actually lost all the content previously.
Well, and on a side note, I really thank you for this, because when we switched platforms years ago, one of my webmasters trashed my writing,
Oh.
website that was gorgeous because,
Mhm.
and so now I'm going to go back and find that one. So I'm very
Okay, great.
excited about
Oh,
that.
good. So one of your homework
We already
assignments
have a
is
victory. We like victories already.
It's so good.
there you go. So one of your homework assignments is to use the Wayback Machine
Yes,
and kind of, look through your own stuff. It's talk about a trip down memory lane, just a warning.
right. Oh, it's so
Okay.
great.
Alrighty. So Ridgely, back to you. I'm just gonna grab some of this and put it in a AI prompt that I'm working on. So let me just
Yeah.
do that.
So let's talk about what are the deliverables, the assets that you're most looking for?
We want we want energy healers and holistic practitioners when they come on the site to be able to get to information about our certification program
Mm-hmm.
and how it would affect their business and ways that they would then access ways to get on a call with us, really,
Mm-hmm.
or without exposing themselves quite as much as that, to get on a Core Talk Rapid Relief Healing session, which happens once a month.
Gotcha.
And to maybe have a roadmap of what it looks like to be certified and how to start that first step.
Okay, so let's just crank up a tool while Hewart does his thing, whatever he's doing over there. So like I don't understand what he's doing, but let's just crank up something here and have a little fun. All right, let's go here. And I am going to hop into one of these guys here for a second. Get rid of that and go up here. Grab a prompt creator and let's do this. Many of us have seen this before, but let's just go through this process because as good as it used to be, team, it's better now than it ever was. Okay, so here we go. You are what? You are a direct response copywriter and expert online marketer. You have been charged by Self Health Institute.com to help with a rewrite of their content for a new website. The goals are, now give me the goals. The goals are for the new website.
To have awareness of Core Talk as a certifiable holistic healing modality.
Certifiable.
I know.
Don't take that personally.
I'm feeling certifiable right about now. Okay, and
To guide them to get more information about Core Talk and Self Health Institute in regards to becoming certified or knowing more about
Self-healing
self-healing using Core Talk.
and business building, self-healing, business building, and
Yeah,
using Core Talk.
and Core Talk has no space in between Core and Talk.
okay, thank you for that correction. I appreciate it. By the way, spelling doesn't really much matter in AI, by the way. Okay, now I'm going to undo that. This I was afraid of. Okay, hold on. All right. I got a better idea. I got a better way to do this. Take in the following. Now I want to show everybody something. This is crazy. This did not used to be possible. Where is, I had the massive document that you gave me there. Okay. This did not used to be possible. That I could grab something like this. It used to be I'm limited to X many characters. There's nothing I can do about that. Now this is no longer true. Now Hubert would do this faster. I'm just showing everybody an easy way that anybody can do this. It's literally, we're simply going to cut and paste. That's all you got to do. So I'm holding it. It is selecting all. I could have probably done that a better way than I'm doing now, but just want to show anybody the easy way to do stuff. Command C, go over to here. Command V, close it up. Now, we need to create the content for a new website for Self Health Institute. So as everybody realized that this tool just took in 54 pages of content in one pop. That is simple, clean, and explains poor talk in a compelling way. And we're going to go through this. It's going to give us a whole bunch of, it's going to tell us what we have to do to correct this and make this better. All right, I've got the full brief. Look at that. Look at this. This thing's not very smart, is it? Write simple, clean, and compelling website content for self-help. This is introduce core talk proprietary holistic healing method created by Antonio Van Beck and Greg Lee. The audience here includes healers, spiritual gives. As you can see, it's way smarter than we are, right? So, so, all right. You want columns, sections? We want page layout. Give us page layouts. Yeah. SEO keywords. What are some keywords?
Energy healing.
Include energy healing.
Where's my keyword doc?
Calls to action, book a free.
Meridians, chakras. Let me find my doc. What else?
I'm having brain freeze.
Core talk is probably one of them.
Yep.
Core talk, yeah.
Holistic
Holistic healing.
Yep.
Alternative health.
All right, that's good enough for now for health. Okay. Calls to action, book a session.
Yep.
I think that's good for now. Hold on a second. How many total website pages do you want? Core 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Web pages. Okay. Do you want video script copy?
Yes.
And for the
Video script.
CTA, the CTA is also going to have at least one lead magnet. We might put in a healing. It's called the Living in Alignment Assessment. I don't know if that's a thing to put in there or not.
Okay. Got an 8.5 so far. We're not stopping till we get a 10.
There you go.
You know, that's how this works. Do. Yeah, okay. Word counts to be tight. 10 per headline or less.
If you need more keywords, I've got a list.
Visual layouts to include accordions. Videos on multiple pages. Phrases to reuse Core Talk. So should the voice of the video on the front page be from one or two of you or both?
Both.
Both.
Home page video from both. All right. Let's see how we're doing. Version 3. Okay. 9.8 out of 10. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're amazing, Ridgely.
So we've done this a couple times.
Right? Not your
Uh,
first rodeo.
Yes. Airy fonts. Lots of white space. Single column. With catching imagery. Sacred geometry. Okay.
Yeah, Celtic knots.
Our logo has a Celtic knot.
Is it KEL?
CELTIC.
Celtic knots.
Yeah, that's the K.
GTA above and below. Videos 60 to 90 seconds.
Yep.
All right, now final prompt. Let's take a look. Write compelling, emotionally resonant website content for Self-Health Institute featuring Core Talk TM, a proprietary holistic healing method developed by Antonia and Greg. Website must appeal to spiritual entrepreneurs, wellness seekers, and healers ages 40 to 65. We're seeking deep, energetic transformation, emotional relief in alignment with their soul's mission. Create 6 core pages, poem about us, what is Core Talk program certification content.
Yes.
Use airy fonts, feature sacred geometry, Celtic knots, above the fold. Yes, good. And now we are good to go with a 10. And I want
Yes.
to share it to everybody before I click. Well, I'm just going to click yes and talk about what's happened. The work now is in crafting the prompt ahead of time.
Yep.
It's not in the writing itself. When you do this right, it becomes insane how powerful this can be in almost no time at all after the drafting process is done. That's the part that is crazy. So now we're going to walk through this a little bit, but we can then literally take any piece of this and transform it any way we want. And then I'm going to show you a really, really awesome trick. Okay, so website content, home, awaken your body's wisdom, top line, clear energy blocks, da, 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 da. Okay, this is all cool, but now I'm going to do something different. All right, hold on a second. Still
And I just inserting that video script, I read the beginning of it, and it's exactly what we already say.
Wow. Good.
I'm Antonia Van Becker, and then he goes, I'm Greg Lee, and we'd start every single video with that. And I like that better, actually, because it says together, we're the blah, blah, blah.
You know, this thing is pretty smart. I got to go grab a tool here real quick. Excuse me while I come back to Hubert, if you want to say anything or do anything, you can, but I'm just going to keep rolling here meantime.
Yep, no, you're good. And folks, this is great to see how Ridgely is crafting the prompt manually. What I'm going to show is using some of the tools that, sometimes if you're in a rush and just need some quick inspiration, you don't have to go the depths that Ridgely goes through with his prompting technique. Of course, it's garbage in, garbage out. So you're going to get great results here because of all the pre-work that you guys are doing with Ridgely.
Okay, we're going to ask anything. We're going to go like this and watch this. All right. All right. So take a look at these limbic messages. We believe your body already knows how to heal. Our job is to help you listen. We believe energy flows where healing goes. We believe true healing starts by clearing what's invisible but deeply felt. We believe your symptoms are sacred signals, not enemies. We believe purpose emerges when energy aligns. This is limbic messaging that it's coming up with based on this content. We believe feminine wisdom is a force for radical change. You deserve to feel light, whole, and fully alive. Okay. Give me the top 4 per category that will most resonate with the target market and cause them to take action. Okay. There we go.
Yes, yes. Yes. Oh my God, that's exactly what we say, number one. That's exactly what we already say.
Right? You deserve a body that feels like home.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so great. Now infuse the limbic messaging into the website pages and give us new versions, please.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I love that. Awaken Your Body's Wisdom. That was just about the name of the first event we ever did back in 2017.
Limbic message, Banner, you deserve peace that doesn't require the years of talk therapy.
100%.
Okay. Great work. Please put the limbic messages at the top of each page. Now we've got the limbic message first. We believe your body already knows how to heal. Our job is helping you listen, and
Yeah.
then the content itself, and then the video for the page, CTAs, and we can now flesh out any page, do anything we want.
Wow.
So any piece of this, we can now make it longer, bigger, more descriptive, whatever you want.
Woohoo!
That's some great looking content there, Ridge. Nice job.
That sure is.
Now, here's a super crazy hack. All right. So, the language is already patient-centric or client-centric, which is good. So I'm going to leave that as is. Here's a hack. Watch this. I'm going to grab this from here. Well, I'm going to go from the website content where it says here, website content. Come on. I'm going to grab all that. Command C. I am then going to go back. Excuse me. Go back here into your document that is in a Google Doc, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go to the end.
Or you can put it at the top, either way.
Yeah. Yeah, either way.
Okay.
Put it at the top.
I'll do this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to paste that content in. And then I'm going to go hit this.
What?
Now, before Ridgely continues, Ridgely, let me just say this because this is off something that Ridgely is fond of teaching. Oh, their version doesn't have the Gemini built in, but Ridgely's fond of pointing out how the different AIs constantly leapfrog each other in terms of capability. Ridgely, I didn't even tell you this yet. 2 weeks ago, the latest findings came out, and Gemini came out top model. So for the brief period that we're in right now, Gemini is actually shining above the rest. So it's
Boy.
their turn to leapfrog.
We use Franklin a lot. That's a kind of good one.
So the hack here is if you signed up already, what you would do, so you can do this yourselves, Greg and Antonia later, is I'll put the double line here so you can see exactly where, is you would go, we don't need this piece right here, for example. You'd go here, click on the Gemini icon, and then it'll open up a box like this, help me write. Right? So in mine, it's already all set up, but in this one, it's not. And then you can literally prompt it and say, hey, what could we do to make this content more compelling, better, improve upon it, etc. Hit click, and you'll then get an instant output from a Gemini. So now you're comparing ChatGPT or OpenAI versus Gemini, and you can continue to instruct side by side. So you're doing a double dipping on the AI piece.
All right. That's awesome. I guess we got to upgrade our Gemini.
Yeah, so here, for example, if I had to go down here, I'll show you. If I go like this and I click on it, and my mine's already upgraded. I don't know why it's messed. I guess because I'm in yours, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, you want to upgrade it. So that way you can use it.
Okay.
Okay, Hubert, what have you been doing?
Okay, so let me show you what I've been doing. So
So you already have
now,
the output from this already in your Google Docs, so you're good.
okay, great.
Oh,
Yes.
you did. You
So,
put all of it in there originally?
Yeah.
right. So in the old days, web design projects used to get stuck for lack of content, meaning the designer would ask the business owner, give me content. And because it was so hard to produce, the project would never proceed in a timely way. Now, with AI, especially state-of-the-art, prompting techniques such as Ridgely just demonstrated, the opposite is true. You have so much content, and it's so great that the challenge becomes, how do you take all of that wonderful stuff and present it in an easy to digest way? Okay, so I'm going to show you our approach, but before I do that, let me pile on with more great content, okay, to further compound the problem. Okay, so first I'm going to share my screen.
Perfect.
First, I'm going to share my screen, and I will get you all of this stuff later. For those that haven't seen the PAF Brain in a while, okay, we're still upgrading this tool. Okay, it's called the PAF Brain, and literally, it's one click. Ridgely's prompt is super complicated, super advanced, but you get super brilliant output. But sometimes you don't have time for brilliance, and sometimes you take one field, selfhelpinstitute.com. You put it in here and you hit this yellow button, submit. And it goes and it runs through all of this. And let me make my screen bigger because it's awfully small. Okay. Then if you look at the bottom of my screen here, it visits that URL. And in your case, it was only a couple of pages because you have basically that mini site, right? So it derived all of this. It starts off with telling you what the executive summary is of your business. Okay. And one good thing about asking AI, hey, what is this web page saying, is you can check to see if you're actually putting forward what you want to put forward.
Right.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like, perception is reality, right? You have to pay attention to how it's perceived by
Yeah.
others. So it talks about the solution, it's core talk, the target market, energy healers, wellness coaches, and mindset practitioners. Now, it also does a little analysis and it talks about what the competition would be. It talks about your team. So anyway, that's the executive summary. Then it
Awesome.
goes, then it goes and creates, and I'm going to give you all of this. So
A
believe me,
limbic messaging.
you're going to have too much good content to use, right? So these are we believe long statements, meaning yes, there's a we believe section, but then it gives you a couple of follow-up thoughts there too, in case you want to, develop some of this further.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
We believe in the power of core talk to help you decode your body's wisdom and clear away any blocks. This is your chance to stand strong and confident as an empowered healer. I mean, I don't know if it's accurate or not. That's for you
Yeah,
guys to kind of.
that's awesome.
Okay. Now, here are the short versions of We Believes. We believe you're not alone in this transformative journey. We believe your healing gifts can create a meaningful impact, meaning some of these shorter ones would be great for, graphic headers and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because your unique gifts matter, because your personal growth matters, so on and so forth. We picture a world. These are the different Olympic message formats that we teach about. Here
Yep.
are you deserve long statements. You deserve to connect with the nurturing community, right? But then it gives you the follow-up thoughts, which are helpful on a web page. Experience the warmth and strength of a collective that champions your growth and celebrates your success. Right.
Beautiful.
So for you, it's a matter of picking and choosing which statements kind of are the best ones to use.
Mm-hmm.
And Hubert, are these the same things that Ridgely came up with? Is this from his prompt?
No, This is
No,
totally different,
totally
Okay.
different.
right?
Okay.
And so hopefully they arrive at the same place, but it may give you different flavoring and different,
Right.
approaches. So it's up to you to kind of pick and choose. And again, we flip-flopped from not having enough
Right.
great content to literally having too much great content, right? Okay. Now, here is some what we call partner-centric copy, right? And so it's written in more of in a narrative form. You'll have to decide if it's correct or not. Is your current path guiding you towards meaningful success? Right? All of this, we've experienced the feeling of being unseen and unsupported. You don't have to walk this path alone. Together, let's amplify your healing gifts and create the impact our world desperately needs. It's time for you to step into your power and heal the world. Right? So, I mean, this is pretty good for one click of a button.
Right.
Right? Okay, so you're in good company. Now, there are the concepts of
Oh, good.
these
Yep.
copywriting frameworks.
I
Right?
love
And
that, Ada.
this one's ADA, attention, interest,
Desire and action.
exactly, right. So it breaks it down and it kind of gives you a formula, and then it kind of helps you write landing pages with your messages
That's
following that framework.
effing great.
It's a hit, Ridgely. Okay, so that's the framework section. Then we have here, like, since you
Ah,
guys are coaches, we often put for our coaches in here like little mantras that they can like offer their audience, right? You in your coaching, or even you can have a page where you say, we help you empower yourself. We suggest for you certain things to do, such as looking at these mantras every day. The world needs my healing energy. With each challenge, I grow stronger, more resilient, and ready to unleash my full potential as a beacon of hope and empowerment. Right. So it
beautiful.
kind of opens your teaching style too.
Yeah.
Now it has strategic advice, how this is more coaching, this is more kind of pep talk for you guys to use when creating your website, just to give you things to focus on. Okay.
Okay.
The importance of clear messaging, the importance of storytelling, how to be engaging with prospects, and so forth. Right. And again, this goes on and on and on through all of these things here. But
Whoa, each section.
each of these sections has as
Wow.
much depth here. And I'll send all of that to you. Right. So
That's
it's
crazy
it's kind of huge.
amazing.
Right. And so the idea is that it's literally too much. Okay, now I will give you the solution, but I want to show you even one other level of like too much and too much awesomeness. Okay, and that is basically the when you guys saw me intently typing away, I was actually going and to build an AI assistant using OpenAI. Okay, so I don't know, many of you have seen me demo this, but others haven't. If you have access to the OpenAI API, and it's very inexpensive, like shockingly inexpensive, I went ahead and I created the Greg and Antonia Lee copywriter assistant. Okay, and I basically typed in, let me make it bigger. I typed in system instructions. The
Aha.
concept here is similar to what Ridgely did. You create kind of a mega super prompt, but you put it in what's called an assistant that doesn't forget this, meaning you put all the prompts in once and you can use it again and again and again, and it'll be
Wow.
self-learning and teaching and all of this, right? And so basically, and this is why I was typing so fast, I was looking at your website and I told it its website. I said that they're going to act as a copywriter and a marketing strategist, and that their job is to craft emotionally powerful, motivating, and transformative copy that speaks directly to your audience, energy healers, wellness warriors, blah blah blah, right? And then I I grabbed what I thought was like the core message from your website. So I told the assistant what the core message is. And then I'm giving it instructions on how to write, use, balanced storytelling. So I'm giving it like goals. Be
Yeah.
clear, but help people overcome self-doubt.
Yeah.
So anyway, here, then I tell it that you guys wish to create a new website, create a website copy that converts well and has excellent SEO. When you guys were talking about SEO keywords, I jammed a few of them in here. Okay. Then I tell it how to write in what tone, sixth grade English. This I had copied and pasted, so I'm gonna delete this part here about dental stuff.
Yeah. No dental stuff.
Right. Okay. There we go.
So we can identify Heavy
You have
metal teeth.
there you go. Right. So, okay. So use standard English. Now, here is something that drives Ridgely crazy, what's called AI fluff words. Okay.
Yes,
This,
sir.
right. And so I actually tell it, do not use AI fluff words, cliched phrases or expressions, avoid overused things. And look, the first words, Ridgely's two favorite pet peeve words, ensure and ensuring are in here, right? So I take that out, keep it sharp, and then finally I teach it how to speak in limbic format, meaning we believe you deserve because something matters. We picture a world where, and then I hit save. Then here's the next key concept. I went ahead and created the ability for it to search the documents. So we put in the document that,
Holy Toledo.
right, the content and all of that, and we put that in there. Okay. And then now we have an assistant. So now this thing can be saved. And then when you go and run the assistant, I mean, there are many different ways to run the assistant. This one is just a quick and dirty way. It's called in the sandbox. So if I say in here, create a create a home
Sales
page,
page for self. Yeah.
create a home page. Let's see what it says does with a home page for the Self-Help Health Institute. Okay. So it's going to go and follow all the system instructions. It's going to look in the vector store here, and it's going to come up with something. And let's just kind of give it a comparison of what it did for Ridgely. So it's cranking away. Now it's running, and let's see if it's any good, Ridgely. Okay. Welcome to the Self-Help Institute. Discover your inner power. Our mission is clear, helping coaches like you. We felt unsure, unseen, and unsupported. But here you're never alone. Step into your light, experience core talk. I'll
Nice.
promise to you, we believe in a world where healers are seen and celebrated. You deserve to feel confident. It jammed in every single Olympic thing it could think of. Okay, so now so now we have yet another tool, and this thing's going to keep cranking. We'll come back to
Wow.
it. Now the challenge is this: you have all kinds of good stuff. Now the question is, what do you do with it all?
Right. Hubert,
Okay.
you're going to tell us.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for playing
It's
along.
your
So now,
extra skill.
yes. Okay. So let me share again.
The
Let me share.
masters at work.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Let me bring up the appropriate. And actually, Ridgely and I will teach this together, and we'll actually do it by.
I know you're like, okay, how do I even take all that in?
I'm like, you're sending that to us, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm
yeah.
sending all of that to yes, I'm sending all of that to you, but we're going to tell you a story that teaches you how to actually like use all of this cool stuff, right? So we have a client, had a current website, and I'll just bring it up briefly. The current website is Hamilton Lakes Dentistry. Okay, it's a few years old, and it's got, the usual kind of mumbo jumbo kind of stuff, right? So it's just like stuff all over the place. It's just like literally stuff. It's
Right.
dental stuff, but it's just stuff. Okay. So we asked them what they wanted. So Hamilton Lakes, so we'll go to website info, and we went to design notes. Okay. So they had stuff. We asked them what do they want to portray? All female practice, blah, 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 whatever. And they wanted to appeal to females. Okay. So I went to Perplexity, a very often overlooked tool, but one that everybody should be using. You ask it exactly what you want. Look at this. What are female-oriented Google fonts to use to make a website represent and appeal to women? It gives
Oh,
you examples. I said, I want to use this and this. Which ones should I use for the headlines and which ones should I use for the text paragraphs? And it gives me the reasoning and why. And then I went and I looked at examples, right? So now I'm kind of choosing and modeling out the fonts, right? So I start off there and I get some fonts. And then now this to me was a very mishmashy experience. They're just panels like all over the place. So I said, I just wanted to check because it's my belief that a single column of content is more easily understood Okay, which has better conversions? I just wanted to see what AI would tell me. Single column is generally more understood because of these reasons, reduced, right? Fewer errors, better user experience, better accessibility, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Um, so excessive scrolling through the other thing might be in multi-column layouts and so forth. So I just honed in more for marketing. Is it more effective? The answer is definitely yes. Mobile friendliness, whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay. Then I said, how important is it in marketing to use a narrative approach? It's very important, storytelling, blah, blah, blah. And this is stuff that I already knew, but I'm checking to see what the current best practice is. Okay. Because Ridgely and I have been finding that if your website is more than a couple of years old, it's not doing what it's supposed to given the current environment.
Right.
So the fact that you guys need to redo your website, that's actually a blessing because your website is now going to follow all the current best practices. What about the
Yay.
role of limbic messages on the web page? Plays a crucial role, why it matters. It drives all of this stuff, unlike the neocortex. Everything that we want to know, but we're just validating it. Okay. Then you ask how many pages should it have? How many do they need to see? So you would want to ask the same kind of questions. How many pages of a coaching support website does a prospective coaching client need to see before they choose another one? And for dentists, it turns out that it's shockingly few. They only look at 2 to 4 pages.
Oh my
So
goodness.
so rest assured that your current 3-page site, if you're saying the right things on it, it's not a disaster that you went from your 20-page site to 3 pages.
Yeah.
Right? It's a matter of what you say to it. Then I ask, what are the pages that are the most important? Then it's the home page, it's the about us page, and it's the services page. Very normally that's done. So anyway, we took all of this and we then went ahead and modeled out like the colors and came up with a color guide for them. And this is all stuff that you should be thinking of as well. So it's the notes and it's all of that. So basically, after getting all of that, we then just went ahead and created this website for them here, and it follows that kind of format. It's basically a single column of text, lots of white space, lots of pictures, video, and again, so far, all these elements I've seen on your pages already. It's just a matter of, putting it in the right context, right? With the messaging that you deserve a dentist who cares because your comfort matters. We picture a world where you enjoy every dental visit. So all of that great content that was there, we're finding spots for it to put in a way. And so we have this as this is a nice trick to kind of have a scrolling section that kind of just goes through your messaging, right? And you find some nice pictures and you identify their pain points, and then you tell them what you believe. We believe in personal relationships. Here's a video. And then here's some proof elements and some quotes. I saw you guys had some quotes. So basically, taking all of that and spreading it across a website, even down into the deep, pages of, checkups and cleanings. Okay. Again, you have the limbic messaging at the top. You have clear white space all around. We're even using these expandable sections to purposely keep the clutter to a minimum. If people really want to read that, they'll expand it to read it. We're
Yep.
creating picture slides that are all limbic. We believe in bright smiles. You deserve confidence. And again, all of that content in the past used to be very difficult to come up with. Now it's like, oh my goodness, on the website, where do I put all of that content without making it seem so cluttered? So, our approach is to kind of use lots of white space and yes, include all kinds of content, but hide it in these sections. Richard, do you
I
want to
love
teach the good folks here the importance of these accordion sections?
Yeah, because the reason why, and I wrote that in the prompt that we started out with, Greg and Antonia, is that the headlines are for the human consumption. They look at things like, what if I have anxiety? What do other patients say about? Where do I schedule? The breakdown underneath when you open the accordion is for search engines. So we're always dealing with two audiences. There's the human audience, and then there's the digital audience. The digital audience wants lots and lots and lots of content. The human audience doesn't want lots of content. They want short and simple. So how do you do both? By using accordions. That's a
Oh,
very
yes.
cool technique.
That's
Well
amazing.
said. So again, all that content that we've generated for you, it's a matter of finding a way to display them that doesn't seem overwhelming. So there are tricks like this. And it's a matter of now that you have all that content, now you can go and pay more attention to your navigation and kind of lay it all out so that you can go through your programs, you can go about us, and your events and everything else. And of course, you can always have a blog section too. The blog
Mhm.
section is kind of like the catch-all of where your stuff can go, right? And so, especially if you're looking to rank well in Google search, it's very important these days to have lots and lots of content. So actually, I was joking when I said there's actually too much content. Now it's actually like the price of admission, especially because everybody's using these AI tools now.
Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you that kind of a background as to what to do with all that wonderful content. And I
Yeah,
know this was a whirlwind adventure here. Like we just blasted through this, and I'm sure it's like drinking from a fire hose. But we just wanted to kind of hit some of the highlights for you,
that
right,
is
Richly?
amazing.
Wow, grateful.
So grateful.
Glad you enjoyed it. So
Wow.
now we get a sense of why learning this AI stuff is a really good idea, right? Just I got into it. It took me 3 or 4 months of hesitating when it first came out in November, end of November 22. Hubert jumped in right away. Originally jumped in about 4 months later, and we've been at it ever since. And
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally start any project with what can AI do to help make this easier, faster, quicker? And there's just no end to it when you really play with the tool a lot.
Exactly. That's
Amazing. I so appreciate that. That's going to give us a whole different landscape from which to move forward, especially
well,
with the limbic messaging and such. Really like.
yes, exactly. So, well, hopefully we've given you a few easy wins that you can start off with, and then you can always keep coming back to the mastermind to kind of, we'll check in on your progress and help
Yeah,
you
we
if
got
you
That'll be fun.
guys get stuck,
All
right?
right, Hubert, what do you got for him? Don't tell me you don't have
All
something.
right.
Even
Oh no,
tell
I
me.
do have something. We always give our hot seat contestants contestants a prize for participating. And here's your joke. This is one of my favorite jokes because it's easily guessable. So hopefully this is another quick win for you. All right, Antonia and Greg, why couldn't the little boy go see the pirate movie? Why couldn't the little boy go see the pirate movie?
Oh, we go see the pirate big.
because he didn't have an eye patch.
No, because it was rated R.
R, R. I knew it had something to
Yeah,
do with R.
something
There you
like
go.
that.
There's another quick win for you guys. All right,
Okay.
Ridgely, when are we meeting next?
All right. So next, let's just take a quick look here. And I think next week we're taking off because it is holiday week.
Yay.
And we are then meeting. Yes, that's right. On the 2nd of June, which is Monday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific. 2nd of June, a week from Monday. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Again, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, June 2. You'll get invites and all of that from us. And yeah, have a fantastic long weekend if you're here in the US. If you're somewhere else, have a great weekend, no matter what it is. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Thank
it,
you, everybody.
guys.
All right,
We
Hubert, I'll
love
see you back on
you.
my channel.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right.
So
Bye,
long.
guys.
Bye.